I want y'all to watch this with me.
Sharpton criticizing President-elect Donald Trump for not nominating an African-American member for any cabinet position, I should say, yet. There are some spots to fill. Now, to be clear, he has picked some diverse candidates to be part of his overall team and also in his cabinet. But again, as of now, there's yet to be a Black American picked for a cabinet-level slot. Joining me now, one of Trump's top allies on the Hill, Republican Congressman Byron Donalds of Florida. Congressman, you have been a very vocal and effective surrogate for Trump and for his campaign and, frankly, the Republican Party. What is your response to this criticism?
I think it's criticism where people are upset that they still lost this election. And so if you were going to ask Reverend Al or anybody else in the Democrat Party, they're still licking their wounds about the fact that this did not work out the way that they thought it was going to. That being said, Donald Trump's cabinet is about people who are going to implement his agenda. And he's not done, by the way. You have Susie Wiles, the first woman ever to serve as chief of staff. You have Marco Rubio, a Cuban American who's going to serve as Secretary of State, representing America across the globe when it comes to foreign policy. You have Tulsi Gabbard going to be at DNI. So many others that are coming, and there's still slots to be filled. So I think everybody needs to pump the brakes and just wait and see what happens.
Do you think Democrats are putting form over substance?
Absolutely. Look, even if you look at how the Democrats filled the Joe Biden cabinet, they wanted to have a piece of every identity, but did they get the job done? Did they actually serve the interest of the American people? Because here's what I know. Whether you Black or Hispanic, if the border is unsecure, Alejandro Mayorkas, if the border is unsecure, does that help people in their everyday lives? No, it does not. And so what Donald Trump's election is about is bringing competency and reality back to D.C. in the White House, making sure that the job gets done on behalf of the American people, regardless of their race, regardless of their religion, regardless of...
That is the most self-demeaning, tap dancing, gaslighting answer that I have ever heard, and it is fully expected from Byron Donalds. See, if you can't think beyond the political talking points, which are competent and securing the border, and then riling up the MAGA nuts with, yeah, we won, they lost. If you can't think beyond that, like the MAGA nuts wouldn't be able to think beyond that. So the MAGA nuts are somewhere screaming, yeah, you tell them, Byron Donalds. Yeah, it's about the most qualified people getting the job. It's not about race. So Byron Donalds, you don't think you're qualified for any of those positions? You think Tulsi Gabbard is more qualified than you? Tulsi Gabbard, who was a known Russian asset, you think she's more qualified than you? Matt Gaetz, a pedophile. Matt Gaetz, who has never tried a case in a courtroom, you think he's more qualified than you? Matt Gaetz, who was running around on the Congress floor showing pictures and videos of young girls, you think he's more qualified than you? The Fox News guy, he didn't even have like a regular full-time show on Fox News. He had a weekend show. He hosted special events. You think he's more qualified than you? He's picking the most qualified people for this position based on competency and reality. You think the WWE lady is more qualified than you, Byron Donalds? The WWE lady who's going to be the education secretary, who has never stepped foot in a classroom, has never taught a student, has no idea about administration on a public school level. You think she's more qualified than you? I know you think this was an own, Byron Donalds. I know you think this was a slam dunk. You were owning the libs. But baby, you owned yourself. You were tap dancing so hard for white supremacy and racism that you demeaned yourself. You sold yourself short. So, Byron Donalds, do you think that you're not qualified for any of those positions? Because I don't like you, but I think you're more qualified to sit in either one of those positions than the people that he nominated. I don't like you. I think you are a tap dancing Negro. I think you are a rocket raccoon. I think that you are a danger to our community, but I can recognize that you have experience in Congress. I can recognize that you have leadership and organizational skills. I can recognize that because of your time in Congress, you have been opened up and learned about a lot of these departments that are being run by the federal government, and you have educated yourself on how these departments are run. And I think you can take all of that and effectively run either one of these departments. You and Tim Scott. I believe Tim Scott is more educated and experienced and has more know-how and organizational and leadership skills to run either one of these departments. But you sit on this platform tap dancing for white supremacy and racism and fascism. You tap dance to have some modicum of connection to their power while selling yourself short, while demeaning your own self. And you're doing this tap dancing to try to make Al Sharpton look bad, to try to make the Democrats look bad. Baby, the only person that looks bad as a result of this interview that you just gave is yourself. You just told the world that you believe you are unqualified. And that's what they love about you. You'll demean yourself in order to prop up their white mediocrity.